Hello,
Record.
everyone. Welcome back to the Mike Armstrong podcast show. And this evening, I'm joined by Vitaly from Vitaly Meditation. And is it Vitaly or it's Vitaly, isn't it?
No, it's Vitaly. You actually
It is
pronounced it correct
Vitaly.
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remembered then, and for some reason, I had a second doubt then in my mind. But no, it
Yeah.
was Vitaly. Yeah, I remember. Um,
I'm used to it. It could be Vitaly, Vitaly. It could be anything. I don't mind.
Everything. Yeah, I remember. I
Yeah.
remember it was Vitaly, and then for some reason, just second guessed myself. But Vitaly's a returning visitor to my podcast. I don't think you were on the video the last time, were you? I think we just done. Actually, I
We
was on
we
your podcast, wasn't I?
yeah, yeah. You were on mine, and we just did audio from
Yes,
just the anchor. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, and, back then I was only just starting out in podcasting, so I was only doing audio only myself. But about June, I think I started. I think that was around April, May that I was on your podcast, and I started doing
Right.
Zoom calls from June and having dual chat, so I could put the audio onto the podcast and the video onto my YouTube channel.
That's great. I need to do that too, but I'm like always on my phone, and I really don't want to use my laptop or a computer. I
Yeah,
prefer the phone. I can do anything. I make videos with the phone. I edit on the phone. I do everything on the phone. So I
yeah,
have to figure out how to record the video because it hasn't been working. Like it records the video, but not the audio
yeah.
for some reason.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
my phone, I can't use it. So I'm like you. I like to do everything on my phone. Before Zoom and lockdown, I used to do
Yeah.
90% of my work on the phone and 10% on the laptop. But since Zoom and lockdown and that, I'm probably 50-50 now.
Yeah. Well, we do whatever works, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever's happened.
It's just I'm big into efficiency, so all my dual chats, I'm creating audio and video at the same time. And then because I like using my phone more, and you haven't got to get so ready. I'm not a massive get ready person anyway. I'll come on video however I am, but
Yeah.
to a point, But with the phone, you can just do audio. It doesn't really matter where you are, what you got on, anything. You just rock up and do it, So I do that quite a lot, just on my phone when I'm talking to myself, if you like, or talking to the phone, talking to the future listeners, and then for the actual video, because I use so much Zoom anyway. I learned how to do Zoom, and it allows you to stick the audio in the podcast, stick the video on the YouTube, and away you go.
I know.
But yeah, how you been keeping since we last spoke?
I'm well, just keeping at it. But that's what I would also started doing is well, I did that before, but I'm doing it even more now for like 5-6 minutes kind of thing for just by myself recording an audio in the morning.
Yeah,
And I'm just actually posting several like of those podcasts. I don't know, they're like mini podcasts. So I like one day I actually different thoughts throughout the day that I just recorded and just
yeah.
posted them on there. It's
How
not an
many do you
interview or
do?
anything, but
How
it's
many
just
mini podcasts? How many mini podcasts do you do a day on average?
um, 3.
Oh, three, is
like
it?
like I said, that one day I did like eight of those, like just because I write a lot of notes in my phone. That helps me. Like I don't have to think about it.
Yeah,
Whenever an idea pops in, I just write it down and forget about it.
yeah,
And then I just, whenever I feel like, okay, I need to record something, I just go to that note and I scroll through the things that like inspire me right now of a previous note that I wrote. And there's like so many notes in my phone. So yeah, it makes it easy. Like put it down, write it down. And then whenever I want to record that mini podcast, I just go back, boom, record it.
I try to have those thoughts and do a podcast straight away. So if I get an idea, pops into my head, and I think, oh yeah, that's a good bit of information or a good bit of knowledge, I just try and get on the podcast and record it straight away, But I do write stuff down. I do so much stuff that I got constant feed of content.
Right. Just make it easy. You know what I also do? I go back and I scroll down my own feed, like way back sometimes,
Yeah.
like and again, like I can read one of my posts, and then like it gives another idea.
Yeah,
It
or you
brings another
revisit
idea in
it,
my head.
revisit it and
Yeah,
add something to it.
yeah, yeah. I revisit my own content, and then I could record a podcast through that too. So it gives me another idea, like a fresh look on what I even wrote before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Something which I do, which I used to do blogging, because I've been blogging for 15 years before podcasting. And
Yeah.
something which I used to do is the A to Z of. So the A to Z of a particular topic you know a bit about. So obviously you could do the A to Z of meditation, or you could do the A to Z of mindfulness, or you could do the A to Z of how to find inner peace, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? You know, there's loads of
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
I do like the A
yeah.
to Z of sales, the A to Z of marketing, the A to Z of success, the A to Z of personal development, the A to Z of podcasting, the A to Z. I do A to Z of anything. So that keeps you on point. Then every day, just got to think of another letter to do with that subject matter, and it's quite easy to keep creating content.
Yeah, to keep that flow, because, and also like we don't have to overthink it. Like
Yeah,
we might say something that might not even like be to us, it might not sound like that important, but someone else hears it, and in whatever situation they're in life right now, it might help them,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
It's just,
I don't overthink it at all.
you
I
never
get
know.
an idea in my head and I run with it. I don't even think it through. I get it. I get it. The idea in the head, and I think, right, I'll work it out on the off. Like, you know what I mean? Just as
Yeah,
I'm going, I don't want to overplan it. I just think, oh yeah, that's a
yeah, I
good.
like that.
You
I
know?
like that a lot. Yeah, we don't contemplate on it and like, is it good, is it not? You just have idea and you
Yeah.
do it. That's
I've
very
done
cool.
718 episodes and 30 odd compilation episodes since I've been
So
going.
this year,
Well,
from like from from the start of this year,
from April, end of April.
from April.
Yeah.
Wow, from April. That's a lot. How many of those are like interviews, do you think? A lot of them?
About 200 of them are interviews. 200 of them are dual chats. Yeah. So
That's cool.
about 518 are my own thoughts, if you like, my own education, learning strategies. I do a bit of news sometimes because I'm involved in a network. I used to be an ambassador, but now I'm sales and marketing director of a business network. So I go on and I promote events and stuff. So I use it a bit like a blog. To me, a podcast is an audio blog.
Right. That's another thing that I was thinking about right now, is that how to create different content around meditation,
Yeah.
but not necessarily talking about meditation, but like you said, like some kind of a newsy kind of a meditative perspective on current news or something. So it's
Yeah.
relevant to a lot more people than just talking about meditation.
Yeah.
I was, yeah, but I was thinking like I'm not that motivated to like watch the news, read about the news and stuff, but I think it'll just provide more value if I have like
Yeah,
a meditative twist on
what you should
things.
do, right? There's a feature on Google called Google Alerts.
Okay.
You set up Google Alerts for certain keywords, and then you can get sent daily, weekly, or monthly alerts of news when those keywords are featured in the news.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do a Google alert on meditation and various keywords
Yeah.
around that. And then when news comes up, you read it and you think, oh, what do I want to talk about? What don't I want to talk about, etc.
Right.
So that's a good strategy. Also, I've got loads of features on my podcast. So I do like Wolf of Wales, which is a sales feature. I do King of Marketing, which is a marketing feature. I do Podcast
Mm-hmm.
King, which is podcast feature. I do Networking Grapevine, which is events that are on the Networking Grapevine. Yeah. So so it's a bit like a radio show. You have different features and different topics, and
Right.
and then you can talk about those different features. So that's a good strategy that I'm happy to share with people.
No, yeah. Yeah, there's so many ideas. Yeah. I just wanted to make it more relevant and not be too repetitive, because I'm very repetitive talking about different. I just talk about like different angles, but it all comes down to me wanting people to try meditation out and see what it does for them. That's it. But
Yeah.
with those like news, like I want to talk about something that's up outside of meditation, like something that we all deal with in life, even if we're
I
not
talk
meditating,
about
we're dealing with that.
Yeah, so a big thing I talk about at the moment, because I'm into entrepreneurialism and everything, and a big part of entrepreneurialism and success growth and that sort of thing, a big part of that is mental attitude. And so I talk a lot about negativity in the news and the media and that sort of thing, and how people shouldn't listen to it because it's not the pathway to success. It's also not the pathway to meditation as well. In fact, it is a pathway to wanting and needing meditation because they've got so much shit in their head. They need to get it out. You know what I mean? So you need to get it
Yeah.
to yourself and block out all of
Yeah.
that rubbish. But I'm somebody who educates people not to listen to it because you're only capable of doing great things if you believe you're capable of doing great things. And you're never going to believe you're capable of doing great things if you constantly listen to negativity and misery and, thinking the whole world is full of, a virus and nothing else.
Yeah, those news, like I don't know, like why people even watch. Like I recently, like just yesterday, the U.S. debates were happening and stuff.
Yeah,
But just that atmosphere of how the debates are going on,
yeah,
it's no way to figure things out. It's like they're
yeah,
just bickering with each other,
yeah.
like old dogs, or like it doesn't make sense. And I don't know even why people are tuning in to watch that when we know it's not going to get anywhere.
No,
It's not
I'm
that
the
they're
same.
not talking the truth. It's nothing.
No,
It's
I'm the
nothing.
same. I'm the same with the soaps, like like people watch the soaps, like which right. Basically, bad stuff sells, right? Good stuff don't.
Yeah,
The news is like 90% bad stuff, and occasionally something good on it, right? Newspapers is all about shock, horror, terrorism, virus, death, mistakes, errors, all that sort of stuff, right? Yeah. And the soaps, they play a happy-go-lucky, like Coronation Street, which is a big British soap, used to be quite comic and stuff, like But then, like, basically, what they do to get the ratings up when they have like killers and crashes and death and destruction, the ratings go up through the roof. So basically, it's just constant misery, stress, hassle. I'm like, you wouldn't want to live in a life like that. Why are you sitting there watching it? Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to watch
yeah,
people arguing
yeah.
and killing each other and dying and stuff. I want to like I share positive news. I only share business and sports news on my. I got a news section on my website and blogs and stuff, and I only share sport and business because sport and business is the only things that I'm passionate about. But also, there's always a positive slant. There can be some negativity in sport and business as well, but generally, the people involved in sport and business are positive people. You know what I mean?
It's all about persevering struggles, persevering losses, and winning. It's like business people and athletes. I often find are the easiest people to talk about meditation because they get the struggle.
Yeah,
They want to go. They don't want to lament about things, right?
yeah,
They just want to solve things. So, and I feel like it's always whenever I talk to someone who's into business, they or athletes, they're like so easy to talk to because they understand, okay, what's the next level of my
they're willing
physical
to try stuff
plan.
because they're always developing and they're always growing. They're into
Yeah,
life coaching, life development, personal development, business development, success development.
yeah,
Holisticness. They're into managing themselves. They understand that life's not just about one thing or another or another. In order to be good at something, you also have to take influence and interest from synergy things. Yeah,
yeah.
nothing's an island, nothing stands alone. It's like meditation. Meditation is great. It's an answer to lots of things, but it's not the answer to everything. You know what I mean?
No,
It works
no, of course not. No,
it coincides with other things. It's part of a toolbox of tricks that you can use to make yourself better.
for sure. I don't. Yeah, I don't. There's like two reasons why meditation even works, and a bigger picture is we need to create. So we wake up and we need to create stuff like business, relationships. That's all we do. Like we create stuff. We
Yeah,
create even poop. We create poop by the things that we eat. Like everything is about creation as soon as we wake up. But there's a bigger aspect to meditation that's um, not talked about because it's not necessarily something that brings happiness, health, and success to our life. It's not about relaxation. It's actually experiencing a physical sensation, physical internal process that happens, that our perception of life changes, and that has its benefits. But at the same time, it's not about benefits. It's about like honestly living fully as a human being's potential. That's another side of meditation, why we need to sit still, not move, and not intake any external information. But yeah, but most meditation teachers, they teach about like sit down, relax. It's about calming down, relaxing, because only in that state we can not worry about what other people think, and not worry uh, to take actions and create things. That's it. So that's why I always separate meditation into there's it helps for us to be able to be in that state of creation, but at the same time it allows us to experience life beyond the body and mind, which is a tricky thing because it takes practice. Like an NBA player would like completely be obsessed about the game, or any other athlete. You in a way have to find those moments where you're obsessed about being still
Yeah.
to experience something of the beyond, and it's like being an athlete but in a
Yeah.
different way.
Yeah, well, like most things, you have to exercise. You have to utilize it regularly in order to
Yeah,
build it up, build its strength, build its power. And, I think I told you before I was quite new to meditation when we first spoke. I've always done a bit of contemplation. I've always allowed my thoughts to collect. So I always chose like going out on my bike or doing things, going for a walk or doing something that I know would allow my brain to settle, especially
yeah,
when you're doing great things or big things. But a lot of people don't, they're never doing great things or big things, and they don't necessarily know they need to rest their brain, but they're doing a lot of things. And sometimes, like I see meditation as it's a bit like, when your laptop's got so many things open and it's not working as efficiently as possible. So you have to sort of like restart it and get rid of everything and just let it breathe and let it fresh. I see that's what I see meditation as. That's what it is to me. That's what it helps me it to be. And I'm quite spiritual anyway, and I think it does help you open up that your mind to possibilities and to greater things beyond yourself and stuff. Just like I've been to places, like I've flown over the Grand
for sure.
Canyon and things like that. And sometimes, and I love looking out to sea and that sort of thing. And I love it makes you contemplate your position in the world and in the universe and that sort of thing. And I think that's quite good to do sometimes, is to stop and look and feel
Yeah,
and relax and
it
just take things in.
it brings clarity. That's like you were saying, like decluttering your laptop like space, taking out the garbage regularly. If we wouldn't do that in our homes, like our atmosphere of like where we live would be like a hoarder's place, like
Yeah.
we need to clear that out. And it's the same thing with especially nowadays. If like 2000 years ago there wasn't much in people's heads, like you needed to hunt, you needed to do agriculture,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And they
Nowadays,
would do meditation naturally anyway, wouldn't they? Because they'd sit around after the hunt, around the fire, or you know what I mean. There used to be lots of
yeah,
emptiness, which was,
yeah,
if you like, humans'
yeah.
natural meditation.
But I just recorded a podcast thought on that, is that you know it wasn't probably done for the sake of relaxation and like de-stressing. Especially it was done because they were doing so much physical work, hunting, agriculture, and it was just like meditation almost came natural to that contemplation, just came naturally. Nowadays we have so much freedom, like we can do so many different jobs and so many different lifestyles, but
Yeah,
back then it was one lifestyle. You needed to wake up, hunt, agriculture, and that's it,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, and pretty much, I would imagine every day
For
you was into forced
most
meditation, really,
people.
because like every day you didn't have like the telly or radio or different stuff to entertain you, so you had to sort of like you'd either be in conversation or you'd be in contemplation.
Yeah, just back then it was natural. Now we have to, because of all the freedom that we have, the time that we need to make it almost like scheduled to live
Yeah,
a fuller life. We need to make it scheduled.
yeah.
But who's are you spending any time like watching other content, like listening to other people's podcasts and stuff like that, or are you just
Um,
fully into your
I
stuff?
don't have a lot of time to do that because I'm on a mission to become a global speaker. Yeah, I want to help as many people on the planet with my knowledge, information, education, that sort of thing. And so I listen to a lot of global speakers. I listen to a lot of mentors, masters in the areas that I'm good at, so I can become even better at. So
Mhm.
sales, marketing, networking, relationship building, personal development, success, entrepreneurialism. I listen to all of the grand masters, people like Les Brown, Dr. John DeMartini, Brian Tracy, loads of people, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee. So I watch a lot of social media. I listen to a lot of audiobooks and stuff. I listen to a lot of master classes and stuff. So I don't actually have a lot of time left to listen to podcasts. Yeah, I do try and catch the odd one here and there, and
What
but yeah,
about Joe Rogan's
I've
podcast?
listened to one or two. I've listened to one or two episodes, as I have done for a couple of other high-profile podcasts. But I'm not massively into having to listen to other people's podcasts anyway, because I'm naturally, authentically me, and I'm awesome as being me. So I'm not that bothered what other people are doing. I just do my own thing. I'm doing my
But
own.
you must have know sorry, Joe Rogan's like deal with Spotify. You must have
I've heard
heard
about
about
it. I
that.
heard about that deal. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's gone from podcasting to video casting now, hasn't he?
But he always did I don't know, he always posted his podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as I know, like yeah, they've been there since, I don't know, maybe there's like a few missing, but most of them are on video too.
Yeah.
But on Spotify they have video of his podcast too now.
Really?
But that was a crazy deal. I don't know the amount of money. People speculate that it's 100 millions, but I don't know for how many years and stuff. But it was a very very big deal for like a podcasting community in a way. That deal,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
it almost shows the shift of where the money goes in terms of where the news are or the media is. It's not TV, radio. It's so much. The podcasting community grew so much that there's that amount of money in it,
Yeah,
which is which is great.
yeah, definitely. And I think what's happened with TV and is fragmented and gone to streaming and people watching what they want, their own niche TV whenever they want to. I think podcasting is going to do that to radio.
For sure. I think it's yeah. I think it's already done that in a way.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I think podcasting's still got a way to go till it's like at the level that TV is as a disruptor, if you like. But I think it's on its way. But yeah, I
for
think
sure, yeah.
uh,
There's still so much opportunity in it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think I've just been joined by one of the neighbours' cats who likes to come in through the window and join
Nice.
us. Come over there, sit there, come on. Um, so yeah, I've enjoyed my podcasting journey though. It's fantastic. Because I've been blogging for 15 years and speaking, for a living from the age of 11. I just turned 43 day before yesterday.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Happy birthday.
yeah, thank you. So 32 years I've been talking for a living. I used to hustle from 11 to 15, and I've been employed as a speaker, not a speaker as in on stage and stuff, but in sales, and as a communicator doing my job. I've been employed since 15. So, but I was hustling 11 to 15. So I've really used my mouth to make money for 32 years, and I've been blogging for 15 years. So it was a natural step really to do a podcast. And I don't know why I didn't do a podcast way before now, because I much prefer speaking than typing. And I've been blogging for 15 years. And like, why didn't I just find podcasting when I first started? Because I'd be like the, what's the Joe Rogan or Rob Moore potentially. Like, you know what I mean? I could have got
Yeah.
those numbers, because if you get in early, it's where you get the real fast organic growth.
Yeah. 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 It makes sense. But I think there's still so much opportunity to grow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're just like Joe Rogan. There's one of Joe Rogan. Like it was just a good timing. I don't know. Also, the way he is, the way he's open to communication. I don't know. There's so many little things that fall into place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
there's
that's
no
what you
regrets.
need,
Like you need
for,
to
for,
continue.
for, for great success, you need the magic sauce, the magic recipe. It's never one thing or two things or three things. It's usually a number of stars align.
Yeah, and consistency. You have to put in those numbers, and getting it better and better and better. Listening to feedback. I think that's what it takes. I'm trying my best to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the old quantity over quality thing, like, you know what I mean? I'm just banging it out because I'm on a mission to do more podcasts in my first year than anyone else has ever done in their first year.
No, I think that's great. Like 700 since April. That's yeah. I'm I'm nowhere near that number.
No.
I need to step it up. Yeah, for sure. That inspires me to. Yeah, I
But
actually
like you
wanted to
say,
do like.
your topic is more on point, if you like. You're on meditation. It's quite hard for you to keep coming up with the amount of content that I come up with on meditation alone. This is why I have the different streams, if you like. That's why I have the
Yeah,
different streams, because I can create. If you've got 8 or 10 different streams, say you got 10. Well, you only need to come up with one bit of content on each stream per day, and you got 10 per day, whereas coming up with 10 meditation things would be tough every day. I'd struggle with that, and I'm very creative, but if I was just doing, say, sales or networking or marketing, which are quite big subjects in comparison to meditation, my guess is they're bigger subjects. There's more detail to them. Yeah.
yeah.
To the sales industry is probably, because I don't know, I'm sort of less well versed in the meditation world than I am the sales world, obviously. But from what I've seen in the meditation world, it wouldn't be as big a area of content, you know?
I can definitely be creative, but I also like. I don't. Meditation is not my only interest because it's the biggest interest. I would want like that's all I want to do is share meditation, share the practice, share my experiences, share other people's experiences. But I often think about business. I often think about the opportunities that need to be created locally for small businesses, and I often think about that. And it doesn't necessarily have to do anything with meditation, but
No.
it has to do with health and success and just having a good life for a lot of people. So I even had like an idea of doing just local podcasts
Yeah.
and like going on Instagram and talking about like talking with recording podcasts with local businesses, just doing that for the sake of um, like having a community locally.
Yeah.
So in the town that I live in a local city like
What
nearby,
town is
like
that? It's
that kind of
Canada,
thing.
isn't it? Your base. What town is it?
Sorry,
What town is it? It's Canada. You're based, isn't it?
in Collingwood, yeah, in Canada,
Canada.
Collingwood. It's
Collingwood.
yeah, it's like an hour and a half north of Toronto, the
Yeah.
big city.
Well, that's something you could do. The other thing which you could do is you could bring on guests in meditation that are in the industry or the synergy industry. So, like, holistic practitioners, people who deal with sleep, that sort of people who deal with psychology in the mind,
You
spiritual.
know, I know I bring some people, and I have like great conversation about that, but it's like almost to me it feels like less interesting to talk it to another person who's teaching meditation than it is to learn something completely new outside of meditation. So I would rather record a conversation with someone who doesn't know meditation, but they're very good at something else.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
because that those conversations teach me something, and I think that's like more of a value than I already talk enough about meditation, and then I'm talking to another person who's talking about meditation. It feels
Yeah. Yeah. But you could
I'm
also.
not learning anything.
No, 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 that's fair enough. Yeah. It's just because obviously you called Vitaly meditation. I just thought that maybe you might want to stick it on point. But, you know, if you are happy, like me, yeah, just embrace any subjects then, But the other thing which you could do as well is you could bring people on to talk about their experiences of meditation and then actually just to talk about their life. So you could actually do
Yeah,
a combination of the two, if you like, sort of the keeping on point and talking about that and then the going off piste and chatting about whatever else the people want to chat about. That would work as well.
for sure. I think that's why I already started doing more of. Like I recorded a couple already with other people, and like yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely enjoy it more when it's like a conversation that I feel like I'm learning something, and it's not something that I already talk about it myself. But yeah, but experiences, other people's experience. Yeah, I need to do more of that
Yeah, well, I've
for sure.
just loved going online, meeting people from around the world on Facebook or LinkedIn, and then chatting with them for an hour, 45 minutes or an hour about them, their life, their situation. And I think it's a great learning curve. I like connecting anyway. So as a networker, it's a great way to connect with people and network with people. And I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can on the planet. It's a great way for me to learn about where someone might need some help or where I might be able to help someone. And usually the help might take the form of, well, actually, I know someone who you should be speaking to, so I'll do an introduction.
Cool. You know what I also like about the local podcast idea that I have is that a lot of people scroll through, like they put in hashtag or the location by like Collingwood, for example, or your town where you live, and they scroll through like what's happening in their town. But those businesses don't necessarily post a lot of videos of stories from themselves. So like having a local podcast that people wake up to, sit in the car and drive to work or listen at home nowadays, mostly, is to listen to local stories of businesses, local stories of local athletes, local stories of like local restaurants and all that stuff. I think that would, it's like a local radio station, but in a podcast form, because it's so much easier.
Yeah, that would definitely work. Yeah, that would definitely work. So, so yeah, that's good idea. And yeah, I get people on from different parts of the world, and when I put down like one of my top podcast guests for views, or actually our YouTube video views, I had 184 views in like the first week.
That was an interview.
That was a chat with somebody, and it was somebody wasn't. I've had much higher profile people on, but I think I put the keywords in chatting with an African entrepreneur. She was from somewhere on the west coast of Africa, Namibia, I think she was from. Yeah, and I think and I think just using the keywords African entrepreneur or something got a lot more visitors than some of the ones where I just put in, chatting with a USA entrepreneur or whatever. I don't know, for some reason it seemed to go more viral.
Yeah, it could be that. Could be timing. Who knows? Like, yeah, there's a whole world of analytics.
Yeah, sometimes it could be the time of day I posted it or whatever. But it was just it was like an unusual, you have a spike or something different happens, you're like, oh, pay attention to that one. What happened there?
Yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah. Anyways, it was great talking to you. Should we share something that's like of a power message to people? What's your like? What's something like of a concern?
Power message, and also how people get in touch with you.
Oh yeah, just Vitaly meditation everywhere. I post a lot on Twitter too. I'm starting to post on LinkedIn. I feel like I need to be there too.
Yeah.
Facebook, I completely forgot about.
I joined a Jay Shetty live on Saturday a couple of times on Instagram. Do you do any of those sort of things?
I did Instagram live. I stopped, but I need to get back to it. Yeah. I really enjoy, I enjoy like the back and forth interaction even more than anything. So yeah, I really enjoy when I do the live or because I teach meditation like one-on-one or in small groups like over Skype, or I even actually do it mostly on just an Instagram video, connecting or WhatsApp. And yeah, and that interaction is my favorite. It's not necessarily making videos, but actually talking to a person and solving their problems or like whatever their understanding of meditation is and stuff. That's I enjoy that the most.
Yeah. Well, leave us with something profound then, and obviously how they can get in touch on Vitaly meditation on all socials and that, and then I'll give you something profound myself, which I can get you to think about as a lasting thought.
My profound thing is very simple right now, is consistency. I feel like whenever I am consistent, that's when good things happen to me. Like it's like a snowball effect, it just rolls and rolls and gets bigger and bigger. Whenever I stop and contemplate about content, contemplate about what I share, it just kind of stops, it fades, it melts. But consistency is key. It's like in any practice, with meditation, with exercise, with podcasting, with anything, just consistency.
Well, that's one of the messages I use most on my podcast, is consistency is key. And actually consistency creates momentum, forward momentum.
Yeah.
So that's a message I use a lot on my podcast. But another one is, obviously, as my podcast is called You Can Do It, it is actually, whatever it is, you can do it. I believe whatever it is, whatever you want it to be, can be done. But all it takes is and to think big. So don't just do your it, like you think, oh yeah, that's the it I want to achieve because I can make it happen. What's the it that you really want to make happen, but you don't think you could make happen? Because I know you can make that happen, whatever that is, whoever's listening, they can make that happen. All they got to do is think it, then they got to plan it, and then they got to create massive action and consistency to build momentum to actually achieve it. And what I always say to people is think about something that's so big that you can't do it right now. So you've got to develop and grow into the person capable of achieving it.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Just raise the standard of what you thought you could do. Yeah, and that's the it. And then that it is gonna change over time as we grow as a person.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
right. Yeah, because the horizons change and goals change, but at some point, so that's what my message is all about. Is just doing whatever you can, to push in the direction of whatever it is that you want to achieve, and don't listen to small-minded people who tell you they can't do it and don't do that, and you'll never make it doing this, and you'll never make it doing that, and all of that, because it's rubbish. It's only somebody who's never tried or has failed and then given up telling you their opinion of what is possible or not, but
For sure. And that's where meditation of visualizing at least 2 minutes in the morning and visualizing how you want to feel, how you want to be, what people are surrounding you. I think just 2 minutes helps that create that visualization. And then it's all about like keeping that vision in your head as when you go about your day. So
yeah.
the more time you can keep that vision in your head, that's when it'll work, because it's always within you, and then you'll just start seeing it, around you.
Brilliant.
The
Brilliant. Well, I got
opportunities.
to go. I got to shoot because the time is running anyway. And also, I got some stuff I got to do before I go to bed. It's late here. What time is it there?
It's 3:40.
Okay, yeah, it's about
Yeah.
8:45 now. So I got a few things I got to do. So thanks very much for coming on the
Great.
podcast and sharing some
Thank you.
information about you and what you're doing. And
Yeah. Thank you. I always a pleasure talking to you. We should do it again at some point.
yeah, well,
By
I'm
the end.
happy to get people on as often as possible because they help me to achieve my mission of bringing out as many episodes as possible. And also, I love getting to know people more and more because the more you get to know them, the more you get to realize how you can help them and who you can introduce them to and all the rest of it. One more thing as well is I'm doing a mastermind on a Sunday, 2 o'clock this time, which is, I think, 5 hours ahead of you. So it's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning with
9.
other
Yeah.
podcasters and other communicators. So I'll text message you about that. And if you want to join that, the reason I didn't invite you to the
Cool.
last one, which was on Sunday, the first ever one, was because I invited everyone on Facebook, on Messenger, and me and you, you're one of the only people I communicate through Instagram rather than Messenger or LinkedIn.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I will be glad to